We are back again on Vivi Manfred on YouTube. It's an exciting times. Do you know what the transfer window does to all of us and our teams? And that's exactly why we are here. My name is Fifi Manfred. This is Fifi Manfred on YouTube. I am committed to bringing the best of content, the best of analysis, tactical, technical, and of course, everything about the nuance, the sensational stuff as well. Everything that you would love to hear about your football team, I do give it to you here. My name still remains Fifi Manfred. This is Fifi Manfred on YouTube. If you are new to the channel, pause the video and do subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you have not turned on your notification, do all to turn on notification now. It's imperative that you do watch Fifi Manfred on YouTube to get abreast and updated with everything that's happening in the world of sports. And I'll bring you all the best of analysis here on Fifi Manfred on YouTube. My name again still remains Fifi Manfred, and I'm grateful to have you here. To everybody in and around the world that listens and watches us, I want to say a big thank you to you. It's the first week of January still. We are in for business, a lot of it at that, and we are here to discuss everything football, and I love it as well. So let's get straight into it. First of all, you know what a transfer window does. The transfer window breeds a lot of rumor. There are a lot of rumors that will go on the transfer window when it opens. And again, the January transfer window essentially is about clubs getting the opportunity to get the players that they did miss out on in the summer. Also, for them to reinforce and get the best players for themselves for the rest of the season. So it's important that clubs in there find some of the best players to do the job done for them. And it's not just about players in the January transfer window. Sometimes it goes beyond just players. If you look at teams like Manchester United, the January transfer window offers them an opportunity to officially bring in Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the Ineos Group to streamline the club's sporting direction. I've said it several times that it is a time where clubs will have to take a breather, but really has to be something that has to be substantial and something that should be significant enough to have a positive effect in the rest of their season. In the case of Manchester United, I'm very certain that looking forward, they getting Sir Jim Ratcliffe, they getting the Ineos Group on board will be very instrumental for them. I have personally said that chopping and changing managers at Manchester United isn't the way to go, because that is just the easy way to get a job done. But really, it's just paper over the cracks, and then there are real cracks that United have to take care of, the cracks of the sporting direction. If you are going to have a new sporting team that's going to have the likes of Joe Watts and Michael Edwards, then you're in a good pedestal, and you want to do some very good job in there. If you look at the job that the Ineos Group have done in recent times, OGC Nice in France, you can attest to the fact that they know what they're about and they can get a job done at Manchester United. Albeit it's a different ball game at Manchester United. So yes, the Ineos Group are in. They'll be looking at getting the job done. It's a big chance for them. Already, United are looking at signing a striker. They are looking at offloading some players permanently, like Bailly, Jadon Sancho may be off their books now. In there, you look at clubs like Tottenham Hotspur who are looking for reinforcements. But in the bigger news at Tottenham is that the fact that Fabio Paratici, who was sanctioned by FIFA and UEFA in some issues with Juventus, his former club, will be asked to help Tottenham Hotspur in getting some of their contacts, some of the players that they want in the January transfer window. So Paratici would help to an extent for Tottenham Hotspur as they go on in the January transfer window. It's imperative that they do that. So as you already know, Ange Postecoglou has done a brilliant job in the first half of the season, but he will look to augment his squad, look to beef up the squad. They have been linked with players like Jean-Claude Todibo. They have been linked with players like Conor Gallagher. Can they convince Conor Gallagher, who has a year and a half left on his contract, to look elsewhere away from Stamford Bridge? Will Mauricio Pochettino allow Conor Gallagher to go? But first off, let's start with the good news from Chelsea and the fact that Chelsea are signing a very good contract. So if you've not heard the news, it's breaking news already. Chelsea are signing a sleeve sponsor, a sleeve shirt sponsor. It's a cryptocurrency group. I've told you several times that the thought of the Baghdad Eghbali and Todd Boehly since they bought the club is to show up the club's revenue and then make it a more sustainable business venture. And the Roman Abramovich, a lot of money was pumped into the club. In itself, it wasn't generating so much. one of the good jobs that the Qataris have done at Manchester City is the fact that in as much as they pumped money, they've been able to make the club a very good business viable venture where they make good money for themselves, and the Qataris necessarily do not have to pump in so much. So the job of Tikri Pakistan and the likes of that have been very, very good at Manchester City, and it seems to be on the right track. And it's not surprising that last year they accumulated some of the highest revenue that the club has seen in recent times, and even compared to some clubs in Europe. Yes, the Champions League win is testament to that. The win of the English Premier League, the treble that they won, was important. That usually will be hand in hand with winning on the pitch and off the pitch as well. So once Baghdad Iqbal is buying players and Todd Boehly are buying players and they are beefing up the Chelsea team, they're making sure they have the best talent in investments and stuff like that for them to be winning. They also want to do the business job well. The business style of the job is important. It's only in my part of the world where sometimes we overlook the business side of football. It is really, really, really important, and that's exactly what Chelsea are seeking to do. So the name of the company is called BinkX. BinkX. It's a cryptocurrency company. They are going to be the sleeve shirt sponsors. Mind you, Chelsea let go of Trivago, and this season, when the season ends next season, BinkX are going to be Chelsea's front shirt sponsor for their training kits, and it's important that they get stuff like that. So when Tree left, new companies did come on board. Now there is that of BinkX. Trivago was a front shirt sponsor for Chelsea's training kits. It's going to be BinkX next season. It's important. There are other minor sponsors like the Omar Air and the likes at Chelsea Football Club, and all of these things are important for the club to be run in earnest in the right direction. It is very, 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 very important in that regard. So that's it by way of Chelsea Football Club and the things that are going on there. The breaking news about getting BinkX to come in there. But let me just give you this for one. It's also important conversation. So Borussia Dortmund are looking to get a job done this summer. So there are two players that Borussia Dortmund are looking to get a job done on. First of all is Ian Matheson from Chelsea. Borussia Dortmund know that with the likes of Ademol, with the likes of their wingers in there, some of their top wingers, their Nigerian-born wingers in there, some of the good stuff that they are doing over there. They still, Karim Adeyemi, some of the players that they have on the wings, they still want much more versatility in their squad, and they realize that the man called Ian Matheson on Chelsea's bench can give them that versatility. So you see, Ian Matheson is a funny character, a funny conversation, because you know the conversation about Ian is funny. He is a versatile player. He can fit into play, but essentially it's about how to get Ian to understand that whilst he's not playing day in day out as an important member of the team, and I think that's the big ask that you want to ask a young player like Ian Matheson, that he should be relaxed to be on the bench. That regardless of the fact that he's not playing, he's still an important player of the club, and then he's still going to play. It's a little bit worrying for Ian Matheson, and it will be same also for his entourage, given where he is as a player. But hey, Dortmund are looking, they are very confident. They think that they can strike a deal with Chelsea for Ian Matheson, for the boy to join them as well in there. Now, let's stick with FC Dortmund, and this is it. So Jadon Sancho had a brilliant career in Germany. In fact, at some point in time in Germany, it was Jude Bellingham, Jadon Sancho, and Erling Braut Haaland doing a very good job in Dortmund. They took the yellow wall by storm, played some exciting football. They played some very, very good football in Germany. And they went to this team when they were young. The Germans did a very good job in nurturing them to hone them into being some of the best superstars that you get in the world. Now, Jude Bellingham has gone on to go to Real Madrid. He's having exciting times at Madrid, breaking records at Madrid, scoring 15 goals in terms of goal combinations in there. Excellent stuff. You go and you look over your shoulder and look at somebody like Erling Braut Haaland, who is doing an exciting job. The kind of job that Erling Braut Haaland is doing at Dortmund, is at Manchester City from Dortmund, is breathtaking stuff, breaking records, getting the golden boot. And then there's Jude Bellingham on the other side. I know the sad bit is this: you compare the form of Jude Bellingham when he was at Dortmund and that of when he has been at Manchester United, and you realize that there's a stark difference. It's essentially chalk and cheese. Dortmund at Dortmund, Jude Bellingham at Dortmund, Jadon Sancho at Dortmund, and then Jadon Sancho at Manchester United, chalk and cheese. Vast difference in there. So at Manchester United, he has played 82 games at Dortmund. He played 137 games. It shows you the amount of trust he had at Dortmund and the various managers that he played under Marco Rose, under Edin Terzic. All of these managers had a lot of confidence in the young Englishman. Also, he has scored 12 goals thus far for Manchester United. And then you go on the other side at Dortmund, he was able to score 50 goals, close to half of the number of games that he played at Dortmund, which is huge. In assists, he has just 6 at Manchester United. He had a whooping 64 at Dortmund, and it tells you how much of a player Jadon Sancho was. I don't think that he has just overnight become a bad player. I think it's an issue of circumstance, and really the kind of player that Manchester United bought without a proper sporting direction. You remember, I consistently tell you about Manchester United in their sporting direction. Jadon Sancho is a big example of the wrongs and ills of Manchester United's sporting direction. Jadon is not a bad player, but the next time you buy a player, you want to look at the particular sporting direction that you want to go before you bring it in, and it is important with that. So we still stick and stay with Manchester United in there. They want a couple of players, and first of all is the fact that Manchester United have gone to Germany and they want to go shopping. So United brought in Rasmus Højlund, who is an exciting player, young player, albeit he has a very high ceiling. Everybody knows that Rasmus Højlund will come good with time. He's the kind of player that with time is going to grow, is going to get better with experience. All through the English Premier League season, he has just had 1 goal. In the Champions League, he has had just a couple, and it isn't enough given the money that was spent on him. For some reason, he has gone under the radar in terms of criticism, and I think that is good how they have been able to manage him so that he doesn't. He's not micro-scrutinized by the media in England. Has been brilliant, but United knows that the season will have to go on. Just a couple of days ago, Erik ten Hag told the English press that United overachieved in this first season, and this time they need to either miss their expectation or do more. And I think that that's the difficulty. They overachieved in the first season. I remember saying several times that Erik ten Hag taking Manchester United to the Champions League was the worst thing that could have happened to them. There was no way United should have qualified to the Champions League. It made them lose track of where they were in terms of their growth and their development with respect to the project. And now they've had a reality check. Now they want an experienced striker, somebody who has had some experience in the English Premier League, somebody who has played for a long time that can help them up top. And they are looking at some players in Germany. They turn their attention to Germany. First of all, it is former Chelsea, current RB Leipzig player Timo Werner. I don't know how Timo Werner fits actually in how Erik ten Hag essentially wants to play, whether in a 4-2-3-1, a 4-3-3, whether he comes off from out wide areas or stays centrally. But Timo Werner is a very good player. He's versatile, can play from out wide. Essentially, it's about how to keep Timo Werner's head calm and patient on his shoulders to be firing for you. That's the only hack. That's the only issue with Timo Werner. But he has that best of pace. He can turn players around. He's a quick pace for the counter-attacking, transitionally based football that Erik ten Hag wants to play. It's a good example. He's the player that fits how exactly Erik ten Hag wants to play. But mind you, I've had issues consistently of Erik ten Hag's squad identity, that talent identification has been a big ask for me, a big question for me every time I ask Erik ten Hag, like with Sofiane Amrabat and the kind of players that he has had in recent times. A critical example is also Timo Werner. How do you convince Timo Werner that he's the guy to get a job done? Is he really the guy to get a job done at Manchester United? There is also the conversation about Seydou Guirassy. Seydou Guirassy is an important player in the German Bundesliga, scoring a host of goals in there for them. And then Manchester United are looking the way of Seydou Guirassy as well. There is also Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. I've said consistently that one of the luckiest players in the world is Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. United are looking at Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting as one of the strikers that are looking to show up the quality up front. And finally, there is Thomas Müller. Thomas Müller is essentially not a striker. He floats between the number 10 and number 9 role, essentially in between the lines, make things stick actually, can drop centrally to add up to the numbers when they're building up, and also can be the outlet when you need it up front, has that expertise, has the experience. But I doubt that Thomas Müller is going to leave, that he is going to leave Bayern Munich to come to England to come and play football. Chelsea fans, however, Lewis Hall was on loan to Newcastle, but he's going to stay in there. Tottenham Hotspur have still not sent any bid for Conor Gallagher. I've said that there is no way Conor Gallagher is going to leave Chelsea this summer. No way, absolutely no way Conor Gallagher leaves Chelsea this winter actually. Connor is still in there. He's looking at signing a contract extension. He may be far off, but it'll take a while. I hear that Thomas Tuchel has sent his scouts to go to Milan to ask for the young English centre-back born, has Nigerian descent, Oluwafikayo Tomori, to join him at Bayern. But really, I don't think that AC Milan are going to sell Oluwafikayo Tomori at FC Bayern Munich. It does not work. I don't think that's going to happen at all. Oluwafikayo Tomori is definitely going to stay at AC Milan. Now, there are teams like Everton that are looking for attacking reinforcement with the injury of Dominic Calvert-Lewin and the likes. They are looking at somebody like Jesse Lingard, who's 31, to come and join in their team. So it is in there with that. But finally, this is the big one. The fact that Chelsea are not going to get one of their earmarked centre-backs that they want from Benfica. Antonio Silva doesn't look like he's a player that's going to join Chelsea in January. It is not going to happen. Antonio Silva is not going to join Chelsea in January. Yes, Chelsea has scouted him, but it's not going to happen. That is by way of everything transfer in January. My name is CV Manfred. This is CV Manfred on YouTube. I'm grateful to have had you here. Make sure if you've not subscribed to the channel, you pause the video, subscribe now, and turn on notification. I will see you, God willing, tomorrow. Bye, 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 bye.